Good evening. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is Joanna Sacco, your mindset mentor. And tonight we have a very interesting topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I'm just going to invite some people and give it a minute for people to jump on. If you are watching the replay, as always, hashtag replay. Tell me where you're from. Say hello. Tag some friends. All right, let's see, inviting lots of people on tonight. So tonight is usually the night that I have my team call, so I'm going to keep it semi-short for you guys. Okay, hi Darcy, hi Nicole, hi. Okay, so again, just if you're popping on, say hello. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. So I took lots and lots of notes for this call because I love this topic, and it's one that as a leader to my team and just as a coach, I get asked a lot, and people seem to want to know about motivation. Where do I get the motivation? How do I get myself motivated? That's a big one. How do I get myself motivated? And this is a very tricky subject, right? Because I'm going to tell you the secret to motivation. You guys ready? Drum roll. There is no magic bullet to motivation. So if anybody tells you that they know like the secret to motivation or how to get yourself motivated, they're lying, because it's not a one size fits all. So motivation is very different from person to person. And part of that is something called intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, right? So you have to figure out, what is it that motivates you in general to do things? Are you intrinsically motivated, meaning do you do things for the internal reward? Do you do it for the own sake, for the fun, for the pleasure, for whatever that internal reward is to you? Hi, Tammy. Hi, Courtney. Or do you do it for the extrinsic component? So are you extrinsically motivated? So is this you're either, trying to earn a reward or avoid a punishment? So those are the two ways that people are generally motivated. It's either intrinsically or extrinsically. So try to figure out for yourself which one it is that motivates you. But then you also have to dig deep into your why. Why is it that you're doing something? And what is it that's motivating you for that? Are you, is your why something like, well, you want to be the number one leader in doTERRA, or do you want to be the number one speaker in the country? What is it that you are motivated by? Or do you want to do it just for the sake of reaching a personal intrinsic goal to you because you love it and you just love what you do, and that is a reward enough for you? But the thing is you have to really work with somebody to try to figure that out. Try to figure it out yourself, because you like all these different self-help type of things that tell you that this is the secret to motivation. It's not going to be a one size fits all for everybody. Hi, Peggy. Hello. So tonight we're talking about motivation for those of you guys who are just popping on. So what I wanted to talk about in relationship to this is something called Parkinsons Law. Now, many people have probably never heard of this, so I'm going to tell you what it is. So a researcher with the last name of Parkinson basically defined this law that says that work expands so as to fill the time allowed for its completion, which is a little confusing, but we're going to go into more detail about it. So a task will swell in perceived importance and complexity in relation to the time given for its completion. So what does this mean, right? What does this mean for us? This is like, what are you talking about, Joanna, right? So basically, if you have 24 hours to complete a task, the human psyche, the way that it works is it will push you to start that task at the last possible minute. So you will do your most quality work, you will work under pressure, and you will get that done in those very last minutes. So if you, for example, have a task that only takes 2 hours to complete, and you give yourself 24 hours to complete that task, an entire day, guess when you're going to do it? Guess when you're going to complete that task? in like the 22nd hour. Hi, Peggy from Tennessee. So the best way to work is in net time, NET time. No extra time, that's what that means. So the more time that you give yourself to complete a task, to achieve a goal, to do something, the less productive you're actually going to be with all that extra time. So the more cognizant you are of how long it should take you to complete that task or achieve a goal, the more efficient you will use your time during those actual work hours. Hi, Kaylee. I know, it's so true, isn't it? So Tim Ferriss, have you guys heard of Tim Ferriss? Show me some hearts if you heard of Tim Ferriss. He's an awesome entrepreneur, and he wrote all these books, and he wrote the 4-Hour Work Week. He talks about this concept as well, and he describes it exactly in the same kind of way in this Parkinson's Law. So you can actually get things done in a much shorter amount of time, and you will be so much more efficient. So how does this relate to motivation and network marketing in our businesses? So it's pretty much everything, because we don't have necessarily deadlines the way you might in an office setting, because we are entrepreneurs. We set our own hours, we set our own goals, we set our own everything, right? So you don't have like a boss who's hanging over you who's like, I need this file on Friday at 4:00, right? You don't have somebody being like, you need to hit this rank by this date and this time, or you need to enroll this many people by this date and this time. So then who is our boss, and where does our motivation come from? It has to come from ourselves. So I'm going to teach you now these little skills here to how to structure your time better in order to use Parkinson's Law to your advantage. So again, if you have 1 week to complete that 2-hour task, guess what's going to happen? The importance and the complexity, the perceived importance and the complexity of that task is going to start swelling. So meaning what you're going to do is you're still only going to complete it in 2 hours. You're still only going to complete it probably at the very end of that time frame, right? And that last possible 2-hour time period, but you're going to spend that entire week freaking out. You're going to be making this big deal of this task. You're going to be just stressing about it and worrying about it. And now it's going to become this big, huge thing that you have to do because you have all this extra time just thinking about it. So you're not actually doing anything productive to get it done. You're just thinking and worrying and letting it grow larger and larger and larger and larger. Do you guys, anyone relate to this? I know I sure do this. It's like packing. Like I'm a last minute packer. And before I would just freak myself out. It would be this thing, oh my gosh, I'm going away in a week and I have to pack now. And I would spend all this time like thinking about, I need to pack this and I need to do this. And then I have to get this and I have to go out and buy this. And what if I forget? And I've let go of that mindset. I've let it go. And I'm like, Joanna, you know yourself. You're going to pack in the 3 hours before you're about to leave for your trip, basically. And I get it done. And I'm more efficient in those 3 hours than I am in like the whole week beforehand. But that week you spend stressing if you don't set those expectations and you don't change that mindset. So how do you use this law? So there's one is you want to set appropriate deadlines. So if you are reaching for a rank or for a goal, or even let's break it down further. So let's say you want to enroll a certain amount of people, or you want to teach a certain amount of classes, or you want to do a certain amount of lives. Set appropriate deadlines. So don't make it so far out in the future that it's going to just sit there and freak you out, right? Don't let it sit there and freak you out, because realistically, like let's just talk about, I know there's non-doTERRA people in here, so I'm just going to use an example that probably can relate to other people. So we have a thing called like push to Premier, right? And you can realistically reach Premier in about 90 days with certain focused specific activities that you do. But so many of us freak out about all these other things you have to do to be a Premier. We spend time doing, trainings, and we need to get certifications, and we have to make sure we have this program and that program, and we invest in, this application, and how can we train our team if we don't even know what we're talking about? So then we have to become experts on everything, right? How many of us feel that way? So then you can't even be a good upline. Hey girl, hey, because you're freaking out about how am I going to train my team if I don't know what I'm doing? And you're literally like, your mind is just exploding with this daunting task because now you have this goal and it seems so far in the future. Whereas if you just set that goal to be 90 days, now you're going to be like focused, right? Now it's like, forget all the external stuff. You're clearing way, moving all the external stuff that's not income producing activity, that's not activity that's going to get you to that goal, out of the way. And you're like, okay, what do I need to do? How many classes do I need to have? How many people do I need to enroll? How many lives do I need to do? Like, what is it that I need to do? What systems do I have to have in place to like be able to then duplicate? And you work so much more efficiently. So much more efficiently once you set those appropriate deadlines, because you're not spending all this time on superfluous things that aren't necessary for you to do what you're doing. So, in our business, like, what do we really need to succeed? We need a book, right? So we can show people how to use oils. Like, we need our Essential Life book or whatever book you use. So we can give people answers. We don't need to know every single answer about oils. We don't need to be like a walking encyclopedia of aromatherapy and uses of oils. We do not. That's going to slow you down. If you feel like that, it's just going to slow you down. We need that book. We need like an FAQ system like Lisa Zimmer has, where you can then plug people in. You enroll somebody and it's like, boom, now you plug them into your FAQ for your customers. So you don't have to now go and answer the same question 50 million times because you have a system. You just add them and tag them, like Lisa says, right? Who loves the add them and tag them, right? And then you, social media, like you go, Jennifer Eads is on here. You go and take her class. Or people who want to build on social media, direct your downline to her. So you don't need to learn everything there is to learn about social media. You just need to do the things that are going to bring you the enrollments and the builders. So you need your book, you need your what do you call it? Your Facebook. You're all on Facebook, and set appropriate deadlines. Okay, so next you want to do the productive work. Again, like we talked about, the money-making activities, income-producing activities, not all the trainings, not all the everything else. Just get it done. And set less time to do these things. So this is key. This is key, guys. So if you have, let's say, 6 days a week to work on your business, or 3 days a week, which, there's people who are doing this part-time, there's people who are doing this full-time. If you say like 5 days to work on your business, take Fridays off. Take Fridays off and squeeze in everything that you were going to get done in those 5 days into 4 days, because guess what now? Now that you know that your Friday is off, you are going to be so much more efficient with those 4 days, and you're going to be like on top of your game, and you're going to get it done. Instead of working an 8-hour day, do a 5-hour day. Because again, now you're compiling and squeezing and working efficiently in that small amount of time. Because remember, Parkinsons Law, a task will swell in perceived importance and complexity in relation to the time given for its completion. So work always expands to fill the time allowed for it. So if you legit have 40 hours of work, you're not necessarily going to get 40 efficient hours of income producing activity done. You could probably do it in 30 or 20 even, if you really just cut out the clutter, if you cut out the distractions. How often do we think we're working, but we're really like not? We're scrolling through Facebook, we're responding to text messages that have nothing to do with our business, we're taking a nice luxurious lunch, we're reading an article that just popped up, we're making phone calls, we're running errands, whatever it is, right? So if you really break it down, cut down the time that you're supposed to work into a shorter amount. Okay, does that make sense? And the other thing is prioritize. Priorities. So make a list of all the things that you have to do and do the most important thing first thing in the morning. Get that out of your way. You don't want that thing standing over your head. That's going to kill your motivation. That's going to now, again, sit there making itself bigger than what it actually is. You're going to be giving it way more power than you need to. And it's going to cut down your motivation to keep going if you have this daunting task over your head. So get it done right away. First thing, just get it done. Get it done. And then you can keep going down your list. But prioritize. Prioritize and get as much done in as little time as possible. So, for example, like let's talk about goal setting with an endless time frame again, right? So, for example, if your goal is to be a diamond someday you're going to be a diamond. It's going to take you a long time to get to that part if you don't actually break it down and give yourself concrete steps to get there. So set a shorter deadline for yourself. So say I'm going to be a diamond in a year or in 6 months or in however long, and work it like you actually have to be. Like it is literally a boss who's standing over you going, I need this done by Friday at 4:00. Because you know that if you had a boss who is standing there telling you you're going to get fired if you don't reach this goal, what's going to happen? You're going to work your butt off to reach that goal, right? But again, because we're entrepreneurs, because we work in network marketing, we don't have a lot of these pressing kind of time deadlines hanging over our heads, which is great in some ways, right? It's awesome because we do get to make our hours and we do get to work at our own pace and grow at our own pace. But I'm talking to you guys who are here because you want to take your business to the next level. So these are some things that you can do within your mindset to get to that next level. And massive, you guys will hear me say this, I'm like Tony Robbins' parrot. I'm like the parrot of Tony Robbins. Massive action results. If you want massive results, you have to take massive action, right? You do. So for example, why do people rank up so much quicker in our company, in doTERRA specifically, between now and January? Because people want to go to leadership and it's a deadline. It's a finite deadline. And now you know that we have, it's the 9th of October and I only have until January 31st to hit silver if you're not silver yet, right? And so now you are going to like literally work your butt off and figure out exactly what you need to do to get to silver. And you're going to cut out all the noise, all the things that are not getting you to silver, all the things that are not income producing activities, right? Right? Anybody with me? So you will see a huge influx of people ranking up to silver specifically before January because they want to get to leadership because it's a goal that they have set for themselves. So here's my question to you. Why don't you set those goals to yourself? Figure out, how are you motivated? Are you intrinsically motivated? Are you extrinsically motivated? Are you both? It's okay to be both. One's not necessarily better than the other. But let's say your goal isn't to hit silver by leadership and go to leadership. Set a different goal and give yourself a reward for it, right? What is your motivation for that goal? Is it financial? Is it that you want to have the pride or like just that personal intrinsic satisfaction of being able to say, wow, I did it. Like I actually got to this level, and to feel proud of yourself. What is it? What is it that motivates you for hitting these different goals within this business? And if it's not an external reward, like something that, for example, doTERRA gives you. So again, lots of people in the spring enroll a lot of people because they want to get the incentive trip, right? The incentive trip is huge. It's like a huge, awesome thing. You go on an amazing tropical vacation with the executives and the top leaders in the company. Whoa, you're going to work your butt off for that. Again, deadline, short time frame. You only have a few months to do it. So now it's like, why are people working that much harder during that time? Because they have a goal and they have something that's a reward. So set your environment up to do that for yourself. Set it up to do for yourself, guys. Dream big. Reach for your goals now and do it as if there is a boss breathing down your neck, telling you, okay, you have to turn this in. You have to enroll this amount of people. You have to have this OV, whatever it is that you are reaching for and striving for. And if you need help figuring out motivation and taking those first steps and how to apply this, feel free to set up an appointment with me. I do 15-minute free consultations just to see if our energies and if our personalities and if, you know, if you think that I'm a good fit to work with you. And then I have different packages that I offer for people. So that is definitely something that I am, I'm pretty good at it, guys, pretty good at it. Figuring out the underlying stuff that helping you just get to what is it that's holding you back, right? What is it that's holding you back, identifying it, and then giving you action items to move forward. So that was the topic tonight. I hope you guys learned something new. If you did, feel free to tag a friend in this video. Make sure you're adding your friends who you think could use this information, and go and set some awesome goals in a shorter amount of time and get it done, guys. I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself. Have a good night.